to go into, episode 2 with, this brand new story. And I thought it was great. You know what I mean? It's a very, very cute, like very sweet story, I would like to say.
It was a wholesome story. And what sold me, this one, I was like, it looks very pretty in terms of animation, the character designs, the art style, and all that stuff. It flows really well. The story took a little bit for me to kind of get into it a little bit.
Yeah.
But by the end of it became an episode I really liked a lot, based on the mecha stuff that they kind of like threw in there towards the end. Like, she's fighting the AT-AT and whatever, and she kind of suits up with the droid or whatever she went all Sailor Moon on it, and I was like, oh yeah, fuck yeah. This is anime. This is anime. This is what I'm here for. You know what I mean?
I would have jumped ahead. I have to say this: the whole season, besides like the duel, right? It just gave me straight on 80s, 90s anime vibes all the way through.
Bro, there's now that you mention that, there's two specific episodes there's 2 episodes specifically that has that vibe and that aesthetic through and through, which is Yuko's Treasure and The Smuggler, bro. Yuko's Treasure alone is like, I'm just like, yo, just the animation, the character design is giving me 90s anime, early 2000s Akira Toriyama Dragon Ball Pokemon type shit. I was like, dude, and it's wholesome as shit. Like the characters are adorable.
I didn't
like,
expect
the
to
color
like
palette,
Yuko.
everything.
I didn't expect to like Yuko at all. But then, like you just said, Dragon Ball right off the bat that I felt. I was just
rip.
My god! I was like, adorable, and I'm just like, and a sad story too, of course. But it's like it felt like you said it perfectly. It's wholesome, and it was like I was like, oh my goodness. But back to like with episode 2, it's solid. It was nothing wrong with it. It was cute, but then it also had those little moments of that anime vibe and everything hitting you with the mech and all that, the mechas and all that kind of stuff. But again, like after you get from the duel and you're hitting there, then you're like, okay, cool. You have like it kind of sets you up and everything like that. Getting there, but then
it simmers you down a little bit.
Yeah. But then it hypes you right back up when they give us the Ninth Jedi again. And
bro, this was one I was looking forward to the most, because this is one of the episodes from
season 1.
I believe it's season 1.
Yes,
the Ninth Jedi and the lore behind her, Kira's dad or whatever her name is. Kara, I think her name is.
Something. Oh my god, I can't believe we forgot that. Hold on.
Kara. I got it written down somewhere. Kara's dad.
Yes,
and him
Kara. Yep.
Making all those lightsabers and how they change color based on your
affinity,
your specific force, your affinity to the. I was like, whoa, hold up, this is something. You know what I mean? This is something, and I appreciated that so much. So this one, I was like, okay. Let's see how much further we get into this. And one thing, I don't know if you picked up on it. You see her lightsaber is green in this episode. At the end of the first episode where we introduce her, she doesn't have a color on her lightsaber.
No, it gets green at the end of it.
Does it at the end of it? I didn't recall her.
So I had a rewatch.
When she was fighting the dude, it was like a muted green.
Yes, it started out muted. But then by the time Jara and all that, they all like start calming down and they're about to win, like they win the battle. Just before that, hers finally goes green. After like I was like, I didn't recall. Like, very quick.
It finally turned green and shit. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it went very quick.
That one was pretty dope.
Because I had the moment that I saw Ninth Jedi, I'm like, what? I went back, saw the fight scene. I was like, fuck yeah. I was like, no wonder I love this. But I do love that you said, like, the lore, they built upon it with so fast. Like, it's so easily built up, which was so cool, because it's like, this was only 20 minutes. They gave us only 20 minutes season 1, minutes, right? Yeah. And they're giving us another 25 minutes again here. And it built so much of this world that they had. Like, it solidified that her father, on top of the fact of like blocking the blaster bolt and everything, that he was a Jedi and everything, but he just was more bladesmith. So he chose like that type of route. And then, oh my God. And then of course they just introduced us to a new droid. The voice casting this whole season.
Bro, the voice cast the entire series is phenomenal.
Right. So like correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure I'm correct. They brought in for the droid for the Ninth Jedi. This was the guy that plays the doctor in that show, right? The autistic doctor, right? Like correct me if I'm wrong. Do you remember? You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Oh my God.
Not the slightest clue.
Matter of fact, Finding Neverland. Remember, he was the kid actor.
Okay.
Remember with Johnny Depp and everything like that? Finding Neverland? I think he was the voice of the robot. And I didn't check it. I should have. I really should have. I
should have checked it too.
But it was I hear the voice. I'm like, that's him. I was like, I know him. And then obviously every single episode after that, I'm just like, I know that voice. Wait, who's that? I want to know who that is. Yeah. It was so good. But yeah, like I said, that droid, perfect all the way through. You know, he had his objectives and the Ninth Jedi was freaking legit. Like it was
the Ninth Jedi is dope, man. It was such a good story, and I'm glad they expanded on it with a second episode. They're gonna expand more on it with a limited series, which we'll dive into a little bit later. Honestly, we can cover that right now since we're already on the topic of Ninth Jedi.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, that limited series was announced back in April in Japan, in Star Wars Celebration in Japan. So that series will continue Kara's story and will also reveal the secrets behind the lightsabers that change color according to one's force. So that's the key mythos there with this specific.
And that was where I was. Story. That was where I was.
You know what I mean?
When I went to Japan, by the way.
I definitely. That's where you was, Star Wars Celebration?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I know. I missed. Remember, I'm pretty sure I texted to you. Like, I was like, hey, dude. I was like, I just found out about the Ryan Gosling stuff, and like, you know what I mean. I saw Sigourney Weaver and all that. Everybody on the stage.
You did not. It was. I don't recall. If you did, I forgot.
All I can tell you, it's Japan. You would think that it was going to be a lot more Japanese there. And honestly, there was way more other tourists in Star Wars Celebration than anything else. Like, but that was the only doubt.
Sure.
It was hilarious. No, but it was like, I was like, I didn't want to, if I was like, I came here to see the culture and see how they do it. I didn't come here to see like another New York Comic Con because that place was packed. Like besides the food vendors being way better, I'm like, oh, okay, that like it was so good. But Star Wars Celebrations was dope, and that's the reason why I went to Japan back in April. It was like one of the best things. That's where half of my stuff that you see over there I won or bought.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So that's a fun little fun fact.
Exactly.
For the pod, you know?
There you go.
An exclusive. So to speak.
Yeah, I made it to Japan. I just didn't post about it. Sorry.
Sorry, not sorry. Ed is very private. That's the thing. Ed is not very social media.
Yeah.
He's not a social media enthusiast. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. Again, the Ninth Jedi. This is a story I cannot wait to dive deeper into next year once we get that limited series.
Yep.
And hopefully I'm hoping we get at least 6 episodes out of that.
I think especially if they do it like 25-minute run time. Honestly, the way that these guys are directing it and writing this story alone, they can give us so much off of 40 minutes so far, right? Let's just say average, like about 40 minutes
in total. Right now, we got about 50 minutes, 50 minutes of story.
They've already created something so good. So now the question is, do they try to spread it out and kind of water it down story-wise, or do they give it to us like, 6 solid episodes and tell us some great story right off the bat without having to make us like kind of feel like, hey, there's some filler in here, like, and I think that's
I feel, given that it's a limited series, I don't think they'll give us some sort of filler. And seeing how we have these two episodes in Star Wars Visions, and we're kind of building off of that, we kind of going off of where episode 3 in volume 3 kind of leaves us off at.
Yep.
I don't think there's room to kind of beat around the bush, because the whole mystery there is the lightsabers.
Yep.
Where has her dad been taken, and her journey to essentially save her dad now that she has a group of allies. You know what I mean? And she has a Jedi Master, a former Jedi Master. She has he has an apprentice. She's learning the ways too. I'm pretty sure she showed she was force sensitive a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's like,
well, way more. Remember, they're already talking about how.
No,
much
matter
more
of fact,
powerful
yeah.
is.
What am I talking about? She moved that whole statue.
Yeah, she
that
moved
massive
the statue.
Yeah, force. She's force sensitive.
She's
for
essentially
sure,
a better version of Finn. No, not Finn.
Of Rey?
Of Rey Skywalker. Unfortunately, I'm sorry. Like, it's simple as that. Like, unfortunately, that's essentially what they're trying to like say here.
This is she's Kara's everything Rey should have been. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And now you got to see, like, now we get to see, like, oh yeah, well, is her dad going to be thrown to the dark side, or is he going to unfortunately get like sacrificed because, you know, that's what happens in a lot of
there's only two ways to kind of go about closing out this story. She either saves the dad, and she has to kind of be tempted with the dark side, so she's kind of fresh to it. You know what I mean? That's usually the case for new Jedis.
Yep.
They kind of need to be tested with the dark side, or they just outright kill him, and then she doesn't get that happy ending.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Exactly.
So that may be the case.
Yeah. And like, so have you ever seen the anime Seven Samurai? You ever seen
I don't think I have.
Okay, if you go on Crunchyroll, it's there. So Seven Samurai essentially is Seven Samurai, but they and it's that kind of situation, right? You're starting off with a couple samurai. They're your main guys. They're like big dogs from the past wars or whatever. Little village coming in to like needing help from other type of bandits and all that kind of stuff, and giant force. Now they need to find more samurai to help them defend this small town. And this is that's where my head is going. Like, this is like a Seven Samurai story-esque type of situation.
I can see that.
You know what I mean? Because they're going to need another 5 more Jedi, right? And then they got to go on their main mission right after the fact. But you know, it's not like, I'm sure that like you could make that argument about almost every anime out there, that there's some type of comparison. But it's like,
oh no, for sure. But that's just storytelling.
That's where I see it. You know what I mean? That's where I see the dopeness. It's just like one of my favorite animes ever made, and it's one of those short ones. It's
that's
like
storytelling.
It's like 20 something episodes, and it's like one of the best like animes I've ever watched. Like, and that was like definitely in the beginning of my I guess my repertoire, I guess you could say. Like,
at the beginning of your anime journey.